Ahoy, hoy, friends, and welcome to Spock's Hairy Titties Appreciation Night. That's right, we are talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 3, Episodes 1 and 2. Spitties myself too hard. You know what? That was not intentional, but it's just
problematic gay alert.
Get excited though. After 2 long years, we have Strange New Worlds, new Strange New Worlds. Welcome to the Salon. Hello to everybody in the chat. We are live on YouTube Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. We would love to have more of you join us. Also on all the podcast places the next day. So if you're listening to us in the future, we also appreciate you. We are at Salon Trek everywhere. Please like and subscribe. All right, enough podcast nonsense. Some different podcast nonsense. Let me beam in the crew. I'm going to start with my new kind of neighbor. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great, but just as a heads up, you're doing about 4 frames a second right now.
Love that. Love that. And I'm going to hope that it's just you. Let's find out from someone else, someone on a different country's network. Benji, how are you and how bad is my tech right now?
Your tech is horrible. I'm great. I got glasses, so I've just decided that I'm Joel now. And a little bit Trev.
Love that.
Honestly, that's valid.
Yeah. Let's go down south a little bit. Joanne, how are you?
I am well, but I thought it was my tech that was acting up because it's storming here. That's how bad yours is.
Love that. I'm very excited to hear that. Keeping it south and more commentary on my tech from Krista. How are you? How am I?
Your tech is fucked, and I'm really excited that it's not me this time. Usually it's just me. But it's not me!
It's usually the Southern girls.
And it is stormy here.
Mhm.
You are correct. Lightning.
Well, to drag me further, here's Will taking a big old sip and having tech issues himself, or maybe just me again.
No, absolutely not. No, it's just you. Disaster as always. Well, no, now it's getting better.
Great.
So
maybe it's California. Okay, good.
No.
Let's see if it's California.
Oh, he's committing to a bit here.
It's not California. I'm just getting drunk. I'm just getting drunk.
She had to have the alcohol to her lips to calm the shakes. Is why she had to do that.
That's better. Hi.
Hi, Trevor.
I didn't. If it makes you feel any better,
How is my tech now?
I didn't notice it. I just assumed that that's how you always look to me.
Are you still doing a bit, or are you breaking up now?
Am I breaking up for everyone?
Oh,
else?
there's going to be a delay after everything I say isn't there. Oh, awesome. Love this. Love everything about it.
I'm really excited for this episode.
We're going to test.
I just had a
test something live. Trevor, take over and vamp. Before we start this episode in full, we are going to, as always, say...
This is obvious, but don't forget to set an intention when you light it, or you're just going to be wasting the wax.
Okay. Am I moving normally for everyone, or am I moving super slow for everyone?
Oh God.
You're good.
I'm good. Okay.
You're
all right.
A little pixelated, but
no, that's actually how I always appear.
That's just his skin, honey. That's just his skin.
That's called age-defying moisturizer. To set an intention tonight, which I'm assuming is what we're doing, I thought it would be fun if we went around the room and shared a little plot twist. So instead of in episode 2 tonight, we get Spock waking up next to a couple different people, including the wedding planner, and including Christine. I thought it would be fun if we went around the room and shared who we thought he should have woken up next to. As always, I will start us off by sharing. For purely selfish reasons, I thought it would be super fun if you woke up next to Mbenga, because I would watch that. That's a plot twist I could get into. William, based on your interpretation of that question, what is your answer?
Yeah, my interpretation of it. If it was gonna be anyone, it would have been funny if it was like. It was always gonna be Chapel, but like at another point, if it was on based on the episode, it'd be funny, or just because someone's gonna say it would be funny if it was Kirk at some point, where I was like, oh, who's this asshole? Like that would be funny, but no, if it wasn't me, I don't want anyone.
You know, that's a very Joanne Cisco answer. It's a very like take anyone else out of the running.
We all. I am not afraid to fight dirty. I will take all of them bitches out. All of them.
He will paint a bitch.
At the same time, I will kill. I'm not going to paint anyone. I've never painted anyone.
Cut a
Never done
bitch.
any of that.
But if I wanted to paint someone, I could paint someone because you know why I'm what? Sick.
Because
I've been in charge. I've been in charge for like 4 minutes, and we're
We are
already talking about
great.
We're already demonetized.
already off the rails. This is an explosive saucer separation. I can't push the button, but if I could, I would.
I was gonna say, I hope you're keeping track. Is this better?
It is, yes.
Huzzah! Well,
And
for
so do me a favor. It's 2 problematic gay alerts and an explosive saucer separation. Go.
Problematic gay alert. Problematic gay alert.
And with that, Krista, who would you like for Spock to wake up next to?
Are we talking to me or Stanley?
Mhm.
Me?
Krista.
I think it has to be Sam Kirk, right? Because he's the appetizer to the main entree later in James Tiberius. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I mean, I don't know. I don't know which one would be considered the entree or which one would be considered the appetizer because I haven't had either one of them.
Here's the thing. The guy doing Sam Kirk is like pulling out his best Sam Rockwell imitation from that movie.
From that movie. The one with the thing.
You know, the space movie with the rock people and the I love that. You know.
Remember Galaxy Quest?
Yeah. Or the guy.
Krista, you're a white.
That was the word.
Krista, you're a white woman in the South. You should not do those kinds of impressions.
I'm sorry. I what? Because I am a woman. What?
Oh no.
You're a white woman in the South. You should not do those voices and impressions. Just in case.
It's listen, I was only in charge for 4 minutes. I can't.
I'll explain American history later.
Can we? You've lost me. I'm not.
Now he's slow again. Somehow we skipped Benji. Benji, going all the way to Canada. Who are we waking up next to?
Well, I knew somebody was going to say that. I knew someone was going to get to him before I did, but before I even got the intention setter question in my notes, in episode 2, there is like this punch drunk love thing between Sam and Spock, where he's like, "Oh, you can't punch me, Spock," or "I can't punch," whoever the fuck it was. There was something there. So I shipped them immediately. They're called Spam. Spam over Spurk every day, spam forever. Spam.
Normally not a fan of spam, but I'll take it. Matt.
You know, I really wanted to say Kirk because I do actually think that would be a fun bit for like legitimately, it would be hilarious to see like it pans over and it's like, what are you doing on the ship? Also, what are you doing in my bed? Type of thing. And then a little tongue-in-cheek action. And I don't mean like that, like I mean tongue-in-cheek action. I honestly
Also
would.
want tongue-in-cheek action with him.
I think
It
that's
was so obvious.
yeah.
The low-hanging fruit of it all.
Well, we
I'm
have
not even
to
gonna give
Oh,
myself
wait.
silver. It's not earned. It's too obvious. Krista's right. Krista's right.
She is right. Otherwise, I would want to go with Pike because I think Spock needs to fuck all of the captains he's under.
Wow.
I know, profound, right?
Word.
For the bit.
Joanne, please help us.
As lover of all things Kelvin verse, he should have woke up next to Uhura, of course, Nyota, and Spock forever.
Our hailing
Boom.
frequencies not being the only thing that are open.
All things open. Mm-hmm.
Stan, not that it could be helped, but help this salon. What are we doing? Answer the
Girl,
question.
I don't know. Can you all hear me with this setup? Is it bad?
No.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
we can hear you.
Thank you, Joanne. Perfect read. Yeah, I'm obviously going to say myself. I want to wake up in bed with those spitties. He's a beautiful man. But yeah, Sam Kirk, I love that idea as the appetizer to what we all know happens later on. Excellent intention setter, Trevor.
No, it wasn't. Stop it. I can have a bad week. It's fine. That was terrible.
Oh, no, this was delightful. As delightful as those spitties.
It wasn't your question. It was the panel.
Dragger.
It's oh my god, I feel like Beverly. It's not me. It must be the universe.
It must be the universe.
It is Salon Trek. Welcome to the show. Thank you, Trevor. Intentions are set. Love it. Love everything about it. We've got 2 episodes of Strange New Worlds to talk about today. I'm super excited. We're going to kick things off with Hegemony Part 2. Part 2 years later, we get the exciting conclusion to this, now the first 2-parter episode of this show. So let's get into it. I'll start with my top thoughts and then turn it over to the crew. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought the pacing was really solid. We had talked before about Pike taking a little long. Rewatching recently, it seemed to be more of an editing thing, but picking right up in that scene, it was kinetic. And it was like, okay, who has ideas? Best idea wins. It's obviously Una's because she's my girl. I love this episode. From the little bits, like everybody had an excellent performance and excellent moments, particularly Anson Mount. He had great moments with April, with Una, with Pelia, with obviously with Marie at the end. And so that was exciting to see. And I think he played the stakes of this episode very well. We got a little bit of levity with Pelia and Scotty, which I thought was pitch perfect. We've talked about this. I personally think they've been a little heavy-handed with some of the characters that they've introduced that we already knew. I think what they're doing with Scotty is pitch perfect. It's just enough. It's just a touch. We're learning more about him. We're seeing how he's becoming the miracle worker through working with Pelia, which is really fun. My only nitpicks for this episode are a little bit of quick resolution kind of at the end. They say some things rather than show us, like the colonist being saved, the surgery for Ortegas, and a little bit of Batel's surgery. I thought her recovery seems to be hastened a little bit. The pacing at the end of this episode seemed to be a little rushed. They could have used like 3 to 6 more minutes to really flesh that out. But really enjoyed it overall and excited to talk about it. Joanne, what were your top thoughts on Hegemony Part 2?
I'm excited that Strange New Worlds is back. It's, I think my favorite franchise, thus my little attempt at my Strange New Worlds cosplay. So this is about as cosplay as I'm going to get. Um, but inspired by, not copy of. Be an original, darling. But this was middle of the road for me. I like what they do with the Gorn, but I don't like body horror and gooey sticky things on screen. Like, I know, I know, I know. I'll,
Lies.
I'll take a beat, right?
You thirsty bitch.
In the arms of the angel.
I walked right into that. So yeah, I'll take a beat. I'll take a beat for that. But I liked it overall. I agree. I also thought it was very, what is it, Deus Ex Machina at the end. But it's Star Trek. It's what we do. So overall, it was good. I was just glad it's back. I'm just glad it's back. Matthew.
I thought this was a really, really good, like, ending to the two-part. After 2 years, I felt like there was a lot of stakes there for us to like kind of back into it. I will say, and obviously, I'm assuming that they probably would have shot this relatively along with part one. I don't think they would have broken in the middle, but it just seemed like Anson Mount's acting in part two was so much better. Maybe it's just because we haven't seen new episodes from him in a while, and I just forget how good he really can be. But like when he's talking to Battelle in sickbay, and he's like, "Let me just hug you," and it just like there was that emotion that he can really convey so well. I loved it. I thought it was really great. My only nitpick, and this might be a weird thing to complain about, I actually was kind of okay and kind of hoping Ortegas was actually going to die. I was like, oh, like, are they actually going to kill Ortegas in the first episode? Like, that would have been, because at the same time, like, okay, it's become a bit, but like, Ortegas flies the ship. Like, okay, we get it. Like,
Who would
fly
fly it if
off,
she-
go towards the light. So I was a little like, okay, like she is still a main character, but that's my only nitpick. I thought it was great. I do agree that I'm not the biggest into like, I don't need, people bursting out. I don't need Alien. But I thought it was handled well. Still questioning how that solution worked, because I would think that just feeding the children inside of her would just make them grow bigger inside of her. But okay.
Krista, what were your top thoughts?
I liked it. I would say I share the nitpick of expedient resolution. I'm not really into it. I'm trying to figure out if I don't really know much about the Gorn, so I'm trying to figure out if the Gorn is a precursor to the Borg in some way. I'm not opposed to the body horror. It doesn't really bother me, but I would say that I'm a little more mercenary than Lon. I would not have cared about all of the colonists. I would have that would not have been my first go-to solution. So clearly I'm much more mercenary, but I think probably my favorite part of the episode was the zoom through the what Sam calls the digestive tract, that whole sequence where it flies through, but only because it put me in mind of the Epcot Center ride through the body that I went on with my grandmother, and it made her throw up. And it's such a wonderful memory for me, because how often do you get to share riding an amusement ride with your grandparents where they throw up, that I was like, oh, that's what I like this. So I could take it or leave it. I since we just came off 2-parters, I was like, okay, well, it's back. And to be perfectly honest, I preferred the second episode to the first episode. I'll just put that out there. And if they're not going to do anything with Ortega beyond I fly the ship, better to have killed her.
Oh, I did forget one small thing that Krista reminded me. I just want to interject. It felt, and it was a really good point, the solution felt too Best of Both Worlds.
Yeah.
It was a rinse and repeat. I didn't like that. It did feel very, we're stealing this, someone might die.
I enjoyed it. I kind of it would be if it wanted a little bit, like with the pacing, it needed a little more time to make the resolution a little bit better. Like the it did feel there's a lot of hand waving. Like, oh, we're just gonna ignore this. Like, we're just gonna quickly kind of pull stuff together at the end. The Gorn stuff was fun. I liked how they kept cutting to the Gorn piloting one of the fighters because it looked like it reminded me of the Scarens from Farscape. If anyone has seen that, because it was like a puppet. It was like a practical puppet, and it was so funny and so cute. I was like, look at that weird thing. It was so funny. I like paused it a couple times and just laughed at it. It was just me, the little puppet, whatever it was, like so excited to fly the ship. It was so funny. But yeah, it was but I did really love the episode just generally. It was pretty good. I agree that I thought Ortegas was gonna die, and I think that maybe that would have been like a really good moment for that character. And now we're getting this weird trauma thing, which I'm not excited about. But like, yeah, it was good. To resolve that episode was good. And the Gorn stuff, them kind of trying to wrap it up canonically, is very much how they did with Discovery, where it's like, oh, it was an unofficial mission, you never met them, blah blah blah. Like, come on. But other than that, it was great. Enjoyed it a lot.
Benji, what were your top thoughts?
Believe it or not, I also thought it was great. It was like soul soothing to see that like animated logo for the first time in quite a while. I was very happy this morning. I love that like everybody, it's like it's a fast paced but well balanced episode where like everybody has something to do. They even gave like Jenna Mitchell a ton of great contributions, which was awesome. I really liked Mitchell. A lot of great Star Trek problem solving, ton of great like made up science. I personally love that everybody lives at the end. I think death is overrated. And I love in general that we can have now like this wacky retro future sci-fi, but that can also be like modern action sci-fi, and that they somehow make it work. Like you have like wacky Star Trek with like the music did like a really good job of conveying it. Like they did like wacky old Trek music, but it was also like action sci-fi. I just think they've like really nailed that, and it's my favorite thing about this show, and there's like nothing like else like it on TV. I had like one issue that I would have really liked them to pick up from the last time, was that like they had several characters who we would normally think better of calling the Gorn monsters, and I thought that there was going to be sort of a better outcome of that. Like, oh, we learned that, you know, maybe there's more going on with them than we think. I think the sort of compromise there was that they're just sort of like acting on nature. So I guess that's fine. I would have liked to have, you know, learned a little something more enlightening about them. But I think this was okay. It's sort of like, I guess like Krista, you mentioned the Borg. Like I was thinking like, you know, Arturo, who designed the Dauntless, he didn't blame the Borg for who they were or what they did, because he just treated them as a force of nature. So I'm okay with treating the Gorn that way. I think it was a good direction. So
yeah, I'm going against brand and acknowledging that I enjoyed this two-parter more than I think I expected to. I also agree. I think Krista, you said it. Part 2, and I think Will, you said it as well. Part 2 was better than part 1, and I don't know why. Maybe it was like no Star Trek for 2 years that made me feel that way. But it definitely had a. I will say the only thing that I found slightly disappointing, like everyone else is talking about how the end did feel a little bit rushed. Also, it was like 46 minutes long. So I'm like, y'all could have just given us a 52-minute episode and slowed down for a second. So that felt a little weird. But yeah, I don't like the idea of torturing characters for the sake of torturing them. But Ortega's having some new experience that she was not prepared for and kind of carrying it with her. I'm okay with it. Especially, Stan, you touched on this on the Text Trek reaction stream earlier today. Yes, she's a soldier. Yes, she's a veteran of the Klingon War, but she's a pilot, and wasn't necessarily in the trenches, so to speak, whatever the trenches of the Klingon War look like. So to expect her to have been a combat veteran in sort of hand-to-hand, face-to-face situations is not realistic. So I kind of like the idea of giving that to us, as long as we don't get it nonstop for the next 2.5 seasons. If it's peppered in to give her a little bit more character and a little bit more growth, I'm all for all of it. But let's see what it plays. I may regret saying that. We'll see in the coming episodes. I almost touched on something that doesn't happen until next episode, so I'm going to stop there. But I very much enjoyed it.
Well, that is a good segue. You know, this is a new era of Trek where we're getting episodic, but things do carry over. It's not an immediate reset. There are consequences. So in this episode, we've got consequences out the wazoo, right? We've got kicking things off. They get out of the line of fire. They have a plan to come back for their crew. But first, we got to get through Admiral April. Starfleet is not wanting to engage. This isn't technically in our space, whatever. Let's talk about Pike and April, and then the plan that they, no pun intended, hatched to get their crew and those colonists back. Who has thoughts about Admiral April?
I have thoughts about Admiral April, but they're none of y'all's business.
I was just going to say.
I mean, we all have thoughts about Admiral April.
Problematic gay alert. You thirsty bitch.
I'm having a lot of thoughts about him right now.
Oh God.
All over.
I liked that they had Pike push back. I like that he called him out on this is bullshit. These guys are going to come back. You know they're going to come back. I mean, it's like, why are we going to kick the can so that somebody else can deal with it? We're fucked now. So let's take care of it. I'm paraphrasing, of course.
As it were.
It was brilliant, too.
Yeah. Good paraphrase. Yeah.
So, yeah. And yes, I mean, throw in a little, is there anything I can do, Admiral, to facilitate you seeing things my way?
Admiral, you seem very stressed right now. I know the worst.
You need your nacelle polished. Yeah.
I will say,
May I touch your skull? Your shiny knob.
We finally see.
Moving on.
Yeah, we finally see like an admiral that is like, all right. I get that the Federation Council thinks that it was a little Nechayev there for a second. It was very like, here are your official orders. Also, I know what the fuck is going on and I need to fix this. Like, how are we going to do it? So
yeah, but I never once felt compelled to ask Nechayev if there's anything that I can do to change her fucking mind. Okay.
Maybe I don't know, open your mind.
I'm just saying.
I don't
think anyone did.
Plays a role in this particular scenario.
Krista, I don't think anyone ever thought that for Nechayev, which explains a lot about Nechayev.
Listen, I'm sure that there are those out there that would very much enjoy a BDSM relationship with Nechayev. And no judgment.
You're paraphrasing.
You're sexual wacky, whatever. I don't care.
You thirsty bitch.
In the arms of the angel.
Yep. BDSM to the arms of an angel in 3 seconds or less.
The Robert April stuff kind of bugged me because I'm so sick of them doing stuff off the record. Like, girl, just fucking say I'll take the blame for this. Like they do that all the time to like cover up the fact that no one's talked about this. We're like, it's like this way that they kind of, it's the new techno babble. It's like, oh, this is off the record. This is a secret mission. Girl, who gives a shit? Just go, I'll take care of it, and then no one talks about it. I'm not talking about shit that happened 85 years ago with people at the place I work. Who gives a shit? It's like they have to constantly reference every event that has happened prior to something new. So it's like this, my issues with canon just generally. But like, I hate that they work that in because it feels very, from the writers, it's very like fan servicey. It's like, look, we fixed it. But it's like, did you though? You just techno babbled your way out of a problem you wrote because you wanted to have the Gorn, which I was fine having the Gorn in it because I like how they're gross. Like, I like how they're so disgusting in this instead of just some big dumb man in a rubber mask. Like, I love what they did with them, but like, I don't know. I'm getting off topic, but I would have just rather them not been like, it's a secret mission now. Fucking cares. We got that once, but
isn't the general rule of a secret mission sort of the same rules of Fight Club? You don't fucking talk about it. It's not, oh, knock, knock, this is a secret mission. You don't even talk about it.
It's the lazy way for, I know, but it's the lazy way for the writers to write themselves out of an issue. They like stepped in their canonical shit a little bit. So instead of going, instead of just kind of letting it go and let people just fucking deal with it, because there's canon issues through everything that no one's ever, people constantly point out. But I don't think all of them need to be, we don't need to circle every fucking square. Like, it's fine to just leave it. And like, that annoyed me. That it was like, oh, off the record, go do this. I'd have been like, Robert should have said, go save your people. I'll deal with everyone else. Don't worry about it. Go do it. Because I think Pike made a more convincing case to go, this is the reason we should do this. Not because I need to save my crew, but because the Gorn are just going to come back. And this has been progressing. And he could have said, I know that this is the right thing to do. And given their relationship with the prior of with the rest of the series prior, he should have said, I trust you, go do this. Because that man, Robert April, designed the Enterprise, designed the Constitution class, and that man is piloting his ship. And he should trust him implicitly to use that ship to do the right thing. So it's ridiculous to be like, oh, we're going to do it, but it's secret off the mission. And then he's constantly trying to call them. And I'm like, bitch, please.
It's also a symptom, though, of like, hey, remember back when Kirk was captain, how like cowboy everything was? Like, it's got that vibe to it, too, which is a little bit lazy, in my opinion. Like, let's just keep reminding everyone about how wild and crazy it was back in the 2200s. Like, simmer down, cowboy. Like, it's, yeah.
Yeah. I found that really annoying. Yeah. It's like, it was just annoying. But
no,
anyway,
I think you're right.
I love the scene.
I think it was really, I wish they were brave enough to have just taken the Gorn wherever they wanted to go. Because I do feel like they kind of gave in to the fan pressure and, tried to fix it or keep it within canon. And I just wish they would have been brave enough to break the canon and just tell a great story with them, right? But I did love the kind of scene between April and Pike because, April was kind of, acting dumb for a minute. But then I think Pike kind of in his pushback really kind of reminded him of their relationship, right? Like, this is not Picard in the chair. Like, we're on a different level. And hey, he pulled Pike out of, sabbatical to go save Una. So there's precedent, right? This should be a non-discussion, friend, right? And he was just like, get your shit together. And he was like, you know what, you're right. But then he didn't have kind of, didn't want to stand on it and made it a super secret, a double dog dare you, don't tell anybody. But
yeah, it makes April look bad. It makes him look weak. Where he's
it makes April look weak.
So I'm not responsible for this. It makes him look weak. And it's kind of a bummer because like I never got that from him. Like, it does make him kind of weak in a way where he's like, oh, you can go do this, but it has to be super secret. Don't tell anyone. Hush, hush. It's like, if he told them he's going to go stop this, he's going to go save his crew and the colonists, whatever, like it's not going to incite anything. It's just already happened. thought it was kind of annoying. Their way of circumventing can't. Like, oh,
We can't hear anything you're saying, Will.
We lost you, Will. You're in the vortex.
This very Peanuts adult.
I couldn't hear that, but I know what
Ah!
Oh, now we heard that, baby.
Oh, son of a bitch! I swear to God.
you Now Charlie Brown.
Shut up.
I will say, ironically,
Let's all do a little rendition of that while we figure out our technical problems.
Cable guy.
Wait, can you do that into my phone? I need this as a ringtone.
I will
Matt,
say,
you were gonna
ironically, in this discussion of like secret versus off the record versus on the record versus covering our ass with issues that we make as a writing production group, it ties exactly into my only gripe about the second episode that I will come back with. But
the technology issues, that's what they should do, is they should just do everything through podcasting, because then
right,
there'll be a record, but it'll be so muffled you can't blame us for anything. It kind of worked in my head, and then I said it out loud and it fell flat entirely.
was there a segue there?
You know, I'm going to turn it into one because I'm good at that.
Does it help that I wasn't paying attention?
Right. I was like, what are we talking about?
Thank you, Joanne.
No, Krista, that actually always helps. Thank
Krista
you.
Krista was still finishing the song in her head.
I
Yeah.
There's a Gorn and a Kirk like fighting in her brain up here.
we panned the thought bubble. Great.
Yeah.
That's great.
But in Krista's version, they kiss.
Indeed.
Speaking of unhinged, I loved Scotty and Pelia in a very heavy episode with high stakes. We needed a moment to cut the tension, and goddamn does Carol Kane know what the fuck she's doing in that regard. Her running in, be like, the Gorn, we're all gonna die. It was so fucking funny, and I loved how it went from funny to serious to heartwarming. How she had this beautiful moment with Scotty about how he's building up walls, he needs to take risks. We're learning organically about this character. I'm loving the execution with introducing him. More of this kind of TOS introduction, please. Love it. And Carol Kane, just such a delight. But that scene and she's like, "Oh, Scotty," as he walks off, is just beautiful. It's funny and heartwarming. Who has thoughts?
I
Scotty
love
has
how
no background.
Wait, Benji, say that again, and then we'll go to Will.
I was just saying Scotty has absolutely no background. Like, we are finally getting some history to this character. Like, they really, even though he was like pretty prominently figured in the original series, we know nothing about this man. We literally nothing else. Like this, they're building this character for the first time, and I love what they're doing with it. So
You know what one of my favorite, and maybe it's this episode, maybe I guess it's maybe the next, but we're talking about it. Like, my favorite background that we're getting is that his drinking problem started on the Enterprise.
yeah.
I'm not much of a drinker.
I made a note of that. I
Mitch.
was like, oh, and the Enterprise made Scotty a borderline alcoholic.
Literally.
I mean,
When he's
again,
just
we're talking about
caressing the
trauma.
whiskey bottle 30
They go
years
through
from
a lot.
now.
Same girl, same.
They go through a lot. Will, what were you going to say about Scotty and Pelia?
Yeah, I love how they give like kind of a background to why he's always set himself to work under pressure, where he gives himself these like deadlines to get things done because that's how he works best. Is really funny, and I was like, oh, like he only works well under crisis and under like stress.
Same.
It's
He
really
has
fun. I
ADHD.
mean, same. I do it all the time. But yeah,
They didn't say it, but I feel like Scotty has ADHD because
a little bit. Yeah, it felt like that. It felt like it.
Krista.
I like that they're sort of presenting him as the guy who sort of expels an idea out of his mouth before he actually thinks about the facilitating said idea. So it's like, yeah, well, we could do this. And then Captain comes down and says, all right, well, how long? And he's like, fuck. So I like that he's an idea man, but he hasn't quite grown into the idea man, get it done man. He's getting there, but it's not. So it's sort of, he's in his bit of infancy. And I like that the interactions between them are almost, they hint at like a sibling relationship, the kind of thing where you poke and you prod at one another, but you do so in a way that is, it's understood that you are not intending harm. You're intending something else altogether. And I thought they were enjoyable. And Carol Kane, anything with her is going to work for me.
It also set up perfectly exactly what you're saying. And I forget when he says it, but he's like, it'll take 6 months, but we don't have 6 months. So we're going to, and he ADHDs his way through his own sentence. And I forget is that in Relics or is that in one of the movies where he does that? Where before
3, he says you don't have 4 weeks, so I'll do it for you in 2. And then
there's a specific scene, and I don't know
Relics?
well enough. If Ken was here, he'd be able to rattle it off. But
Relics was when he said, "Oh, you didn't tell him how long it would really take, did you?"
Right.
Yeah.
But there's one where he's like going, and he's like, "But we don't have it, so we're gonna have to figure it out." And then he just like walks, and he's just like going on, and it's one of the original series because I think Kirk's the one he's talking to. But anyway, you're absolutely right, Krista, because it like sets up perfectly.
Benji, thank you for seeing that. I know you were the only one that.
I know, I saw it. I saw it.
Okay.
I was gonna say in the chat, bye, Trump's face.
Yeah, just bye.
Stan, put Matt Flowers' comment back up again. It's not going to be funny the second time, but I have to.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Nailed it.
Yeah, we're gonna switch.
We
back
are
to
just
Star
pulling
Wars.
the comedy out of the ass of the salon tonight.
Listen, I've known Matt Flowers since I was like 12 or 13. It does not surprise me at all that he would have a comment that would cover my face in the middle of my own damn show.
Wow.
Guys, apparently I'm not allowed to look at our chat on YouTube.
You've been punished.
Apparently.
The tech issues abound. I love it and I hate it.
I can't open the panel. I can't interact with our fan.
Well, you know what was too easy to interact with?
Drag us. Drag us.
Wow.
What kind of amateur hour are we running here? We are so on this level, I can't even deal with it. I don't even have an expensive microphone. I'm shouting across a room.
I will have you all know.
Destroy us. Ruin our career. Fuck our drag. Do it.
Please, everyone, join our Patreon so that we can invest in microphones and a better streaming platform. Because the better one doubled in price. That's why we're here. Capitalism.
Mama, the tariffs.
The tariffs.
Like,
what are we going to do about the gays?
I'm just going to do this shit from my car next time.
Oh my god, please do it.
It hasn't
The day you
happened
did
yet.
it from your bathroom floor with the camera was so funny.
Hey, y'all.
From your bunker.
That would be iconic. Do it, Krista. Do it.
I'll do it from my car next week.
Next week we're all doing it from the car.
Yeah.
I'll have
yeah.
to figure out how to landscape my phone so that I'm not in portrait.
Yes, everybody likes.
Honestly, Krista, no, you don't. You
I'll
shouldn't.
do it. I'll do it. All right.
Keep it in Porsche. Or keep it in, yeah.
All All right, let's talk about the landing party. We got some really cool scenes and some amazing production in the Gorn ship. I thought that stuff was excellent. I loved La'an conquering her fears, really being confronted with it again, even more intensely than she had in the past. The only thing that I didn't love about this new camera following me, the only thing was this was one of the moments that felt a little rushed with me when she was just like, I'm going to place my hands here because I have a memory of my brother. And now we can take the disc with us. It's like, I wanted a little bit more of like, okay, how does this technology work? How did she figure it out? Like just like one or two more lines, because it was really cool to see that La'an took charge. It would have been cool to have Sam work with her on that because he is the anthropologist. It's just a little bit more there would have been great. But the production value in that ship and how the Gorn process bodies to feed their ship, like that shit, like that looked cool as hell. I'm also not big on body horror, but I love when Trek does something different, and making this alien actually alien was really awesome. Who has thoughts about the landing party scenes?
Yeah, I agree. I think the production value on it was pretty crazy. I like how they finally made them like alien, because it was like, oh, they're shit. They're not just eating the people, they're converting them to biofuel to run their ship. It's fucking crazy. I was like, that's cool, because like, you know, we've only had a few instances where we've actually interacted with the Gorn. So like getting to expand on their technology instead of it always being so like Starfleet Earth centric, it always seems to be so close to like what the Federation is using, versus it being like something truly alien. It always seems everyone seems to have the same shit, and they never explain that. I mean, whatever, you know, arm people selling shit, but like I'm sure there's people are buying things and technology gets traded, but like it was nice to see the aliens be alien, and then have La'an kind of like deal with the Gorn stuff that I felt was just drug on for 2 seasons too long to like finally kind of come to a head in a way that felt effective was really cool. And yeah, I thought it was really good. Those scenes, and I love body horror stuff, so call me disgusting, but like I thought it was really cool because to us that's horrific and disgusting, but to the Gorn that's just how things are. So it's interesting to have that perspective where like what we're perceiving as body horror to this fictional character is like that's just how their ships run. Like what we do could be disgusting to them. So I don't know. It was fun. I
think
like that.
anybody would thinking you're pulling shit out your asshole is disgusting, regardless.
Hey, Mama, sometimes that's just a Thursday night, girl. That's just me at home by myself, lonely. What are you doing?
Sometimes you don't have pockets.
If you have a dog,
That's nature's pocket, Mama. That's nature's pocket.
if you have a dog, you have on occasion had to pull.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
She's not wrong.
you know,
Can't
I
relate.
I didn't really follow the La'an figuring it all out, but mostly it was because I was superficially distracted by the fact that her eye makeup is always on point, like no matter what situation. The
I
eye
think she
makeup,
has it lasered on.
yeah.
The future, you can laser on your face, follicle redermitation or whatever. Like
You can change your eye color. Beverly was going to change her eyes.
Redermitation.
I don't know. I
That
tried
was
to go
some-
with dermal regenerator, follicle. You know what?
That was some Shara word makeup if I've ever heard it.
Wow. I'm sorry. It's my fault for taking it into an influencer area, which I think we can all agree is very much like pulling something out of your ass.
But you
Oh
know
my
what?
God,
I
you
pulled
guys.
her head. I'll pull my head and my ass. My mascara never smudged.
Yeah.
That's
Never
what I'm
smudged.
talking about. We'll call you La'an.
Oh my God, you guys, I am obsessed with this laser eye. You could pull yourself out of your own asshole and still look snatched. It's the 23rd century, whatever. Christina Chong acted her whole ass out in both of these episodes. Thank you, Joanne. For those listening, not watching, Joanne fully influenced the screen, holding a product in front with her hand behind it so that the camera would focus. We're all going to become influencers.
No offense to influencers. No offense found here.
This is my
Especially
new
if they're
regurgitation
subscribers.
gel. Who else has thoughts on the landing party before we land this episode with the final bits with Spock and Chapel?
It was icky, and I thought it was very random that they just found enough guns for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing seemed a little weird. Also, the Gorn ship to me was like, okay, did they build this out of an asteroid? I get it. And also, there's the one scene with Sam Kirk when they cut to him where they clearly were like, hey, we're going to get a close-up of you puking. Can you shove a lot of this in your mouth and hold it there until we tell you? And he was clearly like, mm-hmm. And then they cut away right when he vomits anyway. So clearly it was this build-up for nothing.
Totally
and so
unnecessary.
it was kind of entertaining to me. Just from like a production standpoint, you could tell he like had that in his mouth and was waiting to spit it out. Yeah, it was kind of entertaining. But
He's giving best Galaxy Quest vibes ever.
Honestly, he really is. But like,
He really is. I
really
love me
dig
some
it.
Sam Rockwell. So
I still want Sam Kirk to absolutely just pancake me.
Yeah.
I would like him to shave his mustache. So
No,
our
I want to
desires
feel
are
every
admittedly
hair.
a little
How
different here.
dare you, Krista? Absolutely not.
Look at his Instagram. You will disagree with yourself.
That's every moment of every day. I disagree with myself.
Problematic gay alert.
Horrible. I need to find. We need Sam Kirk to be shirtless so that I can add him to that graphic. It's important.
Is he on his Instagram, Benji?
No, I don't think he has a
I'm
great body. I don't think he's shirtless much.
How dare you? He has a beautiful.
Sam Kirk?
I'm sure he has a great. I'm saying like Hollywood standards, great body. I'm like I
Sam Kirk?
lust after him every episode
great.
here. Fun.
On a scale of 1 to 10 Spock,
Well,
this
that's not
Spock,
a fair scale.
Yeah.
how would I know? I'm hetero, dumb fucks. I don't.
You should enjoy Emil's body
I
then.
don't know how you bitches
Woman.
do this.
You dumb fuck.
Call me a dumb fuck.
Oh, come on.
Hey,
They
can we
do.
talk about Pike's hair? Looks like literally the gel was on his hair and he put it through and it still had the crevices
it.
from where the fingers.
Mhm.
It was
We-
Where his
so,
braids are. Oh, I liked it. I liked
We-
it.
so
We
perfect.
can, but I've discovered a new dilemma, which is that I knew about that video because I pushed for it. And so I have it on the scorecard. But now I'm thinking when I read it out at the end of the show, do I say we said come on Bob once or do I say we came on Bob? No, I don't know what to say.
Can't we do both?
Who's Bob?
However the spirit moves you at the time.
Okay.
Who's Bob?
Carry
Don't
on.
limit yourself.
It's true.
Don't limit
Bob-
yourself. Fly be free, you spectacular bird.
Bob is the friends we made along the way.
Oh, I don't like that.
Bob is the backs we came along the way.
Listen, there are things with Bob that just, yeah, anyway.
Bits and
Bob's
bobs.
ass I scraped clean.
Speaking of scraping things clean, we have one more aspect of this episode to talk about. That is the horrific situation going on with Captain Battelle. Spock and Nurse Chapel need to figure it out. They do some math scenarios. They do some hypo spraying. Again, towards the end, I feel like this was one thing that was a little rushed. I wish we saw more of the actual procedure that they did, because we saw some hypo spraying. We saw the thing about to happen, and then Spock had the better idea, which was cool. It would have been great to see that actually happening with Chapel, Spock, and Una. down there. But otherwise, the sort of like talking about it, even though there's this horribly tense situation, like you've got personal stakes here that you're trying to address as well. I thought was weaved very well. Like one bit of Discovery criticism that I agree with is like, not now, Burnham. Like maybe wait 5 minutes and then talk to the president. Like not right now. In this situation, they're waiting for the computer to do a thing. They weave in naturally this conversation that I thought worked, but could have used a little more of the actual procedure with the three of them and Battelle. But the production design did really, really good stuff. I'm concerned about those Gorn eggs just being reabsorbed into Captain Battelle. Because what do you mean reabsorbed? She wasn't born with them.
Maybe they're
Where are
neighborly.
they? What are they
And
doing?
also, they weren't eggs. We specifically saw it kicking at her back. Like, there was a lot of concerning things with that. The
Is it like
resolution did not make any
Picard's-
sense to me.
Is it like Picard's magical sperm? Like, is it the same? Does it have the same years from now? She'll give birth to a child that has.
I think maybe this is the beginning of the Okampa.
Little Bernie.
Because you know they have the birthing sac on the back.
They do come out of the back. Yeah.
Mm.
I think it was their take on terminating or a pregnancy. I'm trying not to say a YouTube inappropriate word. But I think that was kind of what they were kind of subverting a little.
Can you not talk about aborting the mission? The mission being a child?
YouTube doesn't like particularly queer channels talking about things like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no, it might hurt our viewership.
Did you just
So-
cost
We
us
have double
our
digits
10
right now.
viewers?
I'm good for getting us a strike, getting us down to 5 people.
See, next week I'm gonna be drunk in my car, topless. So I'm gonna take care of the rest of them.
Next
Well,
week
that'll
on
be
the
on
Salon.
That'll drive our viewership way up.
I just thought of something really. I thought of something really mean to say, and I want to say it. I don't mean it, but
You
I said,
can say it.
Are you gonna? No one's gonna know. You're gonna film for your ankles.
Exactly. No, not for my ankles.
Pull your skirt down. Your tits are showing.
I mean, because
just from my
I
fupa, Will. Just
Oh,
from
thank
my
you.
fupa.
Thank you. That'll probably get us some more viewers.
Right.
Just saying.
And then I'm gonna say the A word.
No. Thoughts on Spock and Chapel?
Yeah, this whole thing with Battelle and the Gorn thing was so like we wrote ourselves into a corner. We got to get out of it. Like
Exactly.
it was a lot of stakes but no payoff because like again I was like she should have died. Like there should have been more like actual repercussion to what happened. Like it should have been like, oh, we figured it out, but it was too late. Or like the same thing Ortega's. Like I just felt like there should have been more stakes to more repercussion for what they chose to do. And while I think both the two-hander between Spock and Chapel I thought was really good. Them talking about their relationship and stuff was really good. I just think they came about the idea of like, oh, we'll just use again another thing where they're like, oh, we're gonna say secret mission. Oh, we have miracle blood, which it's like we don't need that. Like I get it, fine, but
They did
like
that in Into Darkness.
yeah, it does. It felt like there's a little bit of like we got to write ourselves out of a corner instead of thinking about like we wrote ourselves here. What's the way to get out with the most dramatic kind of like payoff to the rest of the characters?
The
Because it would have been nice.
marketing was also shitty too because Marie Battelle is all over the trailer for season 3.
Yeah. So you know, because we knew she wasn't going to die, but I was like, I felt even leading into. Like when we got this at like the part 1 of this, I was like, Battelle, remember we were talking about whether Battelle was going to die? I was like, she has to. They set this up where she was going to die. And like, I think it should have been the most, it creates a better point for Pike's character. I thought the actress, thank God she had a better haircut. The second episode, I thought her hair was attractive.
Does she? Well,
Better than whatever she was before that
Disagree.
lifeless thing.
Hard
She was
disagree.
lovely actress. I thought she was very good. that the little lob she had was, in my opinion, much better than the other stringy things she got later on or earlier on. But
I think Joel nailed the subliminal reason is that she got Illyrian
blood. Yeah.
Blood. And for anybody paying attention, which does not include myself, the irony is rich there, and maybe that was there. But honestly, I'm not invested in Batel. I don't.
She should have died.
I was thinking about this, and this is one of the things that actually kind of bothered me. That there was that whole, and I agree with what you're saying, is there's the whole irony of like, oh, you prosecuted me, and now my blood saved you. At the very beginning, she was not against Una. Yeah. She was forced into it by the other douchey Vulcan.
She did her job.
Yeah. She was like, I don't want to do this. Now I'm getting punished twice for it. Like,
but did she not want to? I never got the impression that she didn't want to do it. I got the impression she didn't want to do it because of Pike. I don't think she had a problem. I don't think she had a problem prosecuting Una for lying on her application and doing something that in the Federation was illegal.
Yeah,
I don't know.
As soon as it became something other than a semantic argument, that's when she had a problem with it.
She was Space Karen for me for a long time, and this was just I'm sorry for the guy that's boning me, who may or may not be my boyfriend until season 3. Like that was the rub. I don't think she had an issue being Space Karen.
See, when I went back and looked at it, like when we rewatched it a week or so ago, it didn't read that way to me. The whole trial and everything read very like, I'm doing this because I want a promotion and I want to be Commodore and I'm going to go through these things and I'm going to do this because, and I think she like believed that Una did do something wrong and she was willing, but I don't think she was like, oh, Illyrians are bad and I don't think these people should be in the Federation. I think it was more of a like,
rules are rules.
Rules are rules, and I want to be a Commodore, honestly.
She strikes me as a rules are rules, and now I've broken the rule. Like, now I've done something somewhat subversive.
Sure.
And does that potentially impact my career progression, or are we just going to pretend this didn't happen and call it top secret?
Well, we all know
what they do.
But they end it with, and maybe this is in the second episode, I don't know. But, she gets her choice of, and each choice leads to, well, I don't get to see you. And it's like, it's such a tired, boring theme. I can't get invested in it. You've got Cisco, who managed to have a relationship with a woman that did not live on the space station. I mean, it can be done. It's not.
They've had one.
And sent her ass to jail.
Pursuing her own career.
When Joanne wants to feel better, she just puts on the episode where Cisco sends Cassidy away, and she's like, "Yeah, get that bitch."
Yeah,
yeah. The stuff.
Don't forget though, like Batel.
It's just tropey. The whole Batel as a whole is.
Batel was supposed to. Batel was from episode 1. Batel was a hookup. And it was hilarious that there were like a lot of little Trek boys out there that thought that she was his girlfriend when she was his hookup. And they were like, I thought Pike had a girlfriend already. But she was a hookup. And now he's like realizing that he cares about her. So I think that's maybe a little bit of a difference here. I wanted to just draw attention to one little thing too. There's a scene when Batel first goes into sickbay and Chapel is like talking to her and they're having like this kind of funny conversation right before putting her under. Chapel and Batel have off the charts chemistry.
Yes.
Like I ship them more than I ship Chapel and Spock or Batel and Pike or Spock and anybody else. there's something there.
That was natural lesbian energy, honestly.
Isn't there a moment there a moment where Chapel is like canonically now pansexual? Doesn't she say doesn't she date a girl at one point? I was like, hell yeah, put them together. Hell yes. Hell yes. Love that.
Chapel and Una
her way to the top.
There's so many options.
Yeah.
Making Chapel a homewrecker is kind of a really lovely character development, because she's still T'Pring's man, she's stealing Pike's woman, like just making her way
and
through
honestly
everybody.
on a
saying,
meta level,
"Uh,
also goes into Loaxana, just wanting to fuck everything too. If
Yeah.
we really want to take this to the ultimate extreme,
It would be so funny to me if they have Loaxana at some point and they have the actress who plays Chapel play her, or if they have Rebecca Romaine play her, because it'd be so funny. It would be it can't happen because she's not that
I hope
old,
it
but
would.
like it would be so funny to me anyway.
Not that this is what this podcast is about, but the spec script I'm writing for fun that has a young Loxana. I have thought, you know what would be funny is if Jess Bush played this character.
Yeah,
It'd be amazing.
yeah.
Mind touch. Speaking of Battelle, this is a good segue into the next episode. As good as I can make it, don't shake your heads at me. Do not shake your heads at me. Oh, God damn it. I'm going to share my top thoughts on episode 2 now. Wedding Bell Blue. Joanne is having none of this.
Should we make an album with just Krista doing all the music from Star Trek with just herself?
Krista's replacing all of the sound effects for TOS.
But we'll use
Star Trek
we'll
mouth
use
noises.
but we'll
Wait
use the
till you
tin
hear
cannon string she
my
uses
rap.
for her mic to do it.
Yeah,
As
and then there's a
texture.
behind the scenes video where
It'll be
They're taking
very
it up
behind the scenes
Doctor
video
Who.
where she explains her craft.
So
For
we got
$9.99, you too could get Krista.
Okay, Patreon exclusive. Yeah.
Listen, for $19.99, she does it topless in her car.
For $19.99, she does a lot topless in her car.
Stan, do we have an
Hey,
OnlyFans?
In-N-Out burger. The
That's
sky's
4
the
easy
limit.
payments of $19.99.
Girl, that's not why they call it that.
But it will be animal style, whether you like it or not.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to give you credit for that, but you finally landed a pun.
I am scandalized. Scandalized, I tell you.
So, top thoughts on episode 2.
Yes, we got 2 episodes this week. That's exciting. Speaking of Marie Battelle, it is a good segue into talking about episode 2. God damn it, because in Wedding Bell Blues, we cut to 3 months later. So my top thoughts on this episode: I loved it. I thought they pulled from TOS, they pulled from TNG in ways that didn't really break canon, danced around it. Like in marketing, they call him Trelane, but his name is never said in this episode. We get John Delancey in voiceover, so they highly, fiercely suggest that they are Q without confirming it. So they dance around that canon stuff really well in this episode, and they don't always do that in this series. They don't always dance around canon well, in my opinion. Here, I like the way that they did it. I also loved the performances of this episode. Christina Chong stands out for me, and obviously Ethan Peck. We get his spitties with hair, finally. Justice for them.
Can we see them?
Some commotion for the spitties. Yes.
Just a little.
I will pull those up. That is not the commotion I was hoping for, but I do understand. I do. I get it.
I just appreciated Joanne's visceral, like, ooh.
I was like, that was not cunt. But
No, but that's where I felt it. So
some commotion for the spitties.
I mean,
And like I said on our social channels, shirtless Spock holding a book is like straight out of Will's headcanon.
I'm gonna say something. Is this my camera? I'm gonna say something. Ethan Peck, I know you're watching.
Oh my
I thank you so much. I want to say something. I know you are presumably heterosexual. I want you to know, I cook, I clean, I'm a good man. I will take care of you, baby. You just come home. I'll do it. I will do things. I will do things that would probably get us prosecuted in a couple of different states. So, hey, my DMs, like my legs are always open.
You said it wrong, Will. It's like I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me show you how I got this ring.
Oh, mama.
Exactly what I was thinking.
Mama.
Problematic gay alert.
Now,
I
don't
got
you
that
all
on
worry.
top of cooking and cleaning. I got that on top of it.
I don't want you all to worry. By next week, the problematic gay alert will also include hairy spitties, not
Thank you
just
so much.
the
I was gonna.
clean-shaved
I had
spitties.
a note. We need to update that.
Yeah, don't
Just
you
for
worry.
clarification, we can do the last hour and 10 minutes, but we can't talk about terminating a pregnancy. That's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
Sorry.
YouTube.
Anyway, back to the spitties.
So I loved this episode. Great performances, really fun. I loved that it's like, oh, it's a little bit of tapestry. The guy who plays Corby, delightful. I like that we're getting like, oh, this is why she's into him, not just evil from TOS. Him and Spock being in bed together, delightful. I love that it wasn't too tropey with like they hate each other. Like he does literally punch him, but then they work together to figure this out. And Rhys Darby as Trelane, such a delight. And I loved, I think it was Rachel on Text Trek called it the quantum leaping effect of the way he looked like the Vulcan bartender or the Andorian to somebody else. You see it in the reflection of how he was. Yeah, I'm going to rant and rave about this episode. I really loved it. But Joanne, your top thoughts on Wedding Bell Blues?
I didn't love it. I didn't love it. I don't know. I didn't get it. Well, the only thing I fully appreciated was John Delancey at the end. I was like, oh, work. I love him. So, it's just not my thing. And then the whole cause and effect of it, and I don't know. I didn't love it. I didn't love it. Next.
All right. Well, it felt very Spock amok. It felt very I like that they have this after such a heavy first episode, it felt very good to have this like levity and fun. Again, I said this to the Salon in the group chat earlier. I will say it again. It feels so nice to be seen and have some representation for my people. For flamboyant, over-the-top, megalomaniac wedding planners. I really relate to that. And I would force people to do that if I had those powers. So truly, I saw myself in him a lot. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. John Delancey, finally having that Trelane is Q is whatever this guy is, was I audibly screamed and Jedzia jumped up and like thought something was wrong. It was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. Overall, it was a fun episode. It was a romp. It was campy. Yeah, it was good. I have one really huge issue, and a lot of people are probably gonna when we had the AR wall with all the ships that they used for like 90% of the backdrop of that.
I agree with what you're about to say.
You had 2 crossfield classes in the back of that.
Mm-hmm. I
You had
noticed that.
2 crossfield classes in the back of that. Why the fuck did we even have 1? Those should not be around. They only made 2. One was destroyed. The other was like, and they even made a joke about, oh, I think that's a crossfield class, and it was a different one. It would have been better. Just get the be done with Discovery. Be done with Discovery.
Okay, I actually disagree. That's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to talk about how quick it was and how we didn't get to see the details of any of the other ships.
Oh,
I don't
there's
think
that
they were
too.
the
Sure,
original crossfield class because they were different than Discovery.
But they were. It was still.
Like,
There was 2 ships in the
too
background
many.
where you looked at them. They had the same profile as the Discovery, the crossfield class. So I noticed
That's a
someone
special
like
variant that Discovery was.
The existence of, first of all, how many ships look like other ships? Second of all, the existence of the crossfield was never classified. The mission of the crossfield and the the spore drive was classified.
But they
Sure.
specifically said they only made 2 crossfield classes. One was the whatever.
I never said
blew
that.
up.
They built them after. They built them after.
There were only
They just
2
built them
spore
after.
hub
It doesn't
drives.
matter.
They built more
ship nerd. I didn't
constitutions
like it.
after the original 12.
Where,
This is
Crystal, what are your top thoughts on Wedding Bell Blues?
I'm sorry, is it my turn?
The gummy kicked in.
She's on her way to her car.
Because I don't give a fuck about the ships. I liked the wedding planner. I thought he was funny. Trelane, whatever he was, I thought he was funny. I liked that maybe I am hearing things, but it seemed like he was supposed to be Q's recalcitrant son, which I thought was kind of interesting. A call back to Picard 3. I don't know anything about this Corby dude because I did not watch TOS, but the actor that they got to play him is I liked him in an appealing sort of messy Muppet sort of way. And I can see why she would be drawn to somebody who is so emotionally accessible versus Spock. I have to say, Spock, shirtless or not, 0 fucks. And also, to be honest, I thought that wedding dress was a hate crime.
I did not like it for a wedding, but I did like the dress generally.
No, and the flowers were different. Don't make a big deal about the fucking flowers, prop master, and then substitute flowers like this bitch isn't going to notice. I'm going to fucking notice. That's a hate crime as well. All right. Now I'm in a bad mood because you guys went off the reservation with the fucking ships. Yakety yak 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 about the ships.
I have
Big
passions.
giant ship circle jerk. Okay. Will?
Good night, everybody. Jesus. I really liked this episode. I thought it was cute. It was fun. I think this is the not because I have the hots for him, but I thought Ethan Peck, his acting was really wonderful this episode, especially the last little bit with him and La'an. I thought was so lovely. Like I thought his acting was where, like, if we've had 3 Spocks so far, so like obviously Nimoy is number 1, but like I think Ethan Peck gives so much nuance to this character where there's emotion, but it's because he's not making it like, I don't know, like there's something that went on with Zachary Quinto where it was like he was either too emotional or not emotional enough. Like he never found that way to like kind of express things, and like there he didn't have enough time, obviously, but like there wasn't enough, like, I don't know.
It was the time he spent on American Horror Story.
I guess. I don't know what it is, but I think Ethan Peck in this, I think his performance is so nuanced and it's so lovely. And I think this episode was a really wonderful showcase of him. And I liked how it was kind of quirky and weird, and it was a fun like little character romp. I thought the costume design was really fabulous. Like the dresses don't make sense, but like knowing that like the bodice piece that Battelle is wearing is like a 3D printed piece that they designed and made that's on that dress, and like the costumes are like the technique that goes into making these costumes is really impressive. And at like Sam Kirk's weird green suit, I was like, hell yeah, that's fucking sick. Like Una's dress was incredible. They need to stop doing asymmetry, but like I thought like just everyone generally I thought had really wonderful costumes. Like as soon as like Chapel took the weird thing off the back of the dress was better. Not good for a wedding, but it was better. But like I thought the costume design was really great. I thought it was a fun episode, and it reminded me of like, it felt very original TOS to me. It was really fun. I honestly really enjoyed it. It was kind of refreshing, and it was nice to see like they finally have taken, like, I felt like the writers and the people involved were confident in the characters they had developed. Finally, like, it felt like it was a good, like, oh, we've established enough of them that now we can kind of like move these people along. I was annoyed at the Ortegas being the trauma involved with the Gorn, but I'll reserve reservation because we already had it for 2 seasons on, so I don't need to see this again. It was just a little exhausting. But anyway, Benji.
Yeah, I think episode speaks for itself. There's been a lot of talk about filler episodes lately, and they really do like kind of meander and waste time in this episode in some places, and I kind of love it. It's like TV used to be like really fucking slow, and they would just waste a ton of time on stuff that doesn't matter that much, and I kind of it's funny that they have to actually intentionally make time to do that because that's a choice, but I'm glad that they're making that choice. I do feel the need to address the Spitties, even though it's been discussed thoroughly. Ethan Peck's natural chest bush is much more fulsome than what we got in this episode. This was, they pulled back. I don't know why. I guess they just have something against body hair. So there's still, I would not say a crime, but maybe like a civil offense happening. I hope that maybe by season 5 we will get the full length there. Sam sort of being played up as like this like goofy, really terrible, randomly trying to dance with different aliens at the end and like wearing this horrible sweater in the bar. Also a bit of a civil offense to me personally. But yeah, I don't know. He's taken. He's
Sam
married. He has a
dancing with
family. I guess there's
Andorians was
nothing
where
to
you
do
draw
about
the
that.
line.
Yeah. I looked up the Vulcan bartender. He's pretty cute. The Adosian, the actress's name is Kira, Kira. The Adosian name is Kelsing. I already love this character. Just like the little bit we got was fantastic. The actress is a phenomenal singer. Look her up. She's really outstanding, and I can't wait to see what they do with her.
I kind of loved it. I loved how silly it was. I love how unnecessary it was. I love that it was a romp. I loved the fashion, even the fashion don'ts, because if everything looks appealing, then it's not fashion for the 23rd century, because we shouldn't have eyes for things that would look good in another 200 years. Like it should respond and stimulate a different aesthetic. So for me, like even the tragic fashion was fantastic. But what I'm upset the most about is that everyone that discusses the fashion wins in this episode. No one mentions Mbenga's suit, which is fucking phenomenal.
Or Uhura's dress, which
Uhura's dress,
was the best dress.
Her very Trina Turk orange little like jacket and shorts. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I loved, and I hope we get more of Beto. Like he's a lot of fun. I love him and Uhura together. I hope there's something, a tryst. I don't want it to turn into something super serious. But like I would love for both of those characters to have a little fun, but especially Uhura. She deserves a little more joy and a little more Beto in her life. Matt Flowers called it out earlier in the comments, but I just wanted to circle back to the fact that this is only, technically speaking, the second time we've heard Spanish spoken in Trek. If we remove Rios's signature warp catchphrase of Dale, which I don't consider that shouldn't count because it was a random one word here and there.
He did swear under his breath in Spanish a couple times.
That's true. Fair enough. So second or third time that we have lines of dialogue in Spanish. And I also kind of love the call out of from Erica actually mentioning to her brother, like, she's our communications officer. She speaks 900 languages. Like, you don't think that Spanish is one of them. That was kind of fun. I also really like that we didn't name the entity, because everybody's going off with like, oh, it's Q because it's John Delancey, and oh, it's Trelane because he's a mischievous child who's parented by a green orb. They didn't name the being, so stop being so small universe. Like, it might be it may not be either one of them. Like, it could be John Delancey for the fun of it, and it's a green orb parented mischievous omnipotent being, who clearly had a home world that existed within the last 8,000 years, not too far from where they are right now. So that's fun. And I obviously I was a little partial to the lack of furry spitties, but I appreciate that all of you appreciate furry spitties. It's fine. It's fine. We all love different things, and that's what makes the world go round.
Trevor has issues with hair. We know this.
I do. It's not a secret. Anyway, maybe it was a secret. Now everyone knows because it's on YouTube and it lives forever. Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Strange New Worlds has not done like these diversionary romps well in the past, so I kind of like that this one worked for me. Because it was just a fun little blend of everything, including the Adosian, who I hope continues on into further episodes, since they invited her to stay on the ship. And
I mean, if they're going to make that, use it for more than just one scene.
Do it. Also, I love. Forgive me for not knowing the character's name because I don't think he was named, but Nurse Hottie. Bring it.
Oh, we didn't talk about Nurse Hottie.
Super excited about Nurse Hottie, and I hope he's in more episodes. Since they invited him to stay as well, I'm assuming they're building sort of a core cast of secondary characters, and that would be delightful. Yeah. So yeah, those are my top and middle thoughts.
We've talked about the fashion, so let's highlight it real quick. I did love it. I love Scotty's in a kilt. I love that green suit. I've had my eyes on a green suit lately, and I was surprised when I saw this one. I was like, "Oh, that's all right. We're on the same page." We also get.
Wait, hold on. Can you go back one?
If I must.
Can we appreciate Uhura in the back of that?
Oh, always.
Can we appreciate what is going on with the? That is.
He looks the best. That's gorgeous. What I said. I mean.
Those are sitting pretty.
They're yeah.
Way to objectify her. That's
we objectified men on here enough. I'm going to give equal time to Uhura.
All three of them are gorgeous.
Also, these women.
Just Una serving just cunt, like warp 10 cunt, like. God, yeah.
Come on.
So good. They're all gorgeous.
Can I say though? I think Una's best look was in the happy hour when the two of them that eye makeup and she looked. It took me a second because I was like, "That's Una." Mm-hmm. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Look at Joseph Mbenga and come on.
Yeah,
it's good.
Ooh, that rap.
Who's sitting next to Mbanga? Because he looks like he's like,
Clearly competition, and he can fuck.
I'm just saying.
What is that? A green uniform?
He's experiencing thoughts at this
moment. He is experiencing thoughts. I think it's gray, Benji. I think it's the Admiral.
The famous Admiral. Yeah, Admiral.
Yeah, the Admiral uniform. Yeah.
Admiral. We don't have a name.
Also, look at the bob on that Vulcan back there.
That's a cunty bob.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. I wish we need more of that.
Okay, but why does Captain Bentine
Battelle
sure. Why does she look like Anna Kendrick here?
Because you are wrong.
No.
I think she looks more like Rachel Brosnahan here.
No.
She looks like Mrs. Maisel a little bit.
A little Tina Fey there too.
It's also just it's the still that I happen to have. Find.
I think also just to point out, I think there were.
Go ahead, Benji.
We can all agree. There was some like intentional like Journey to Babel people in the background. Like there were, I think, intentional like Journey to Babel costumes that we'd seen in the original series that they put in there. I think that was sort of like meant to be Federation Day related. Just putting it out there. Yes, I love that suit, that outfit on Uhura.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think this is gonna be a tour de force for Uhura. In like all of the episodes, she's gonna have the best outfits. She's gonna have the best hair. She's gonna have the best. Like it's gonna be enviable. You're just gonna sit there and go, "I wish I was as cool as this 900 languages genius." That's my prediction. Just based on that dress. Hello, is this microphone on?
It is. It is.
I think you know, but like the bad take on this is that it's sort of a punk for all of those Spock and Chapel shippers that were like, oh, there's a wedding, oh, there's a it sort of does a best of both worlds, or whatever the name of the, listen, it's kicking in. Here's my point. Here's my point. It's gone. I'll get back with you next week on what that point was. Yes, there are Spock and Chapel shippers, and that was my point. Okay, so back to that. I think it was a bit of a punk for, you know, those people that are like really invested in that. I'm not one of them, but it did the whole you know, Picard Crusher marriage that happened but didn't happen. And now we all play some poker together. I can't remember the title of the fucking episode. And then there were two. What was the last one?
I have no idea. I feel like
the
I took
last episode of TNG. What was the name of it? Someone.
All good things.
All good things.
Thank you.
All good things.
All right. So it was an all good things.
That one, yes. Look at her.
Both of
And
them.
look at La'an. Both of them. Look at her.
I really loved La'an in this episode too. Like her dancing with Spock. Like I love that it was very platonic. They're going to be besties. Not enough Una in this episode, but she looked fucking fierce the entire time. I loved.
I saw
Rebecca Romaine somehow.
Go ahead.
Oh, she looks like somehow like naturally de-aged. Like not that she had work done, but just that she's like somehow aging backwards. I don't know how she's doing.
Yeah, that's just how Rebecca Romaine can act.
Yeah.
When she played Mystique, actually that wasn't CGI.
That's what she did.
She's just a shapeshifter.
Let's talk about Dr. Corby and his interaction with the crew. I thought I get why Christine fell for him. Right. I thought they executed that very well. I love, like I said this earlier on Text Trek, this episode very easily could have been like, oh, this bitch toying with two men. It could have been very tropey. And to me, it didn't feel that way at all. Like she had feelings for Spock. It didn't work out. It wasn't what she was hoping for. She communicated with him as best she could, not perfectly, but she did. Like there was tension there, obviously, because it's a TV show. And now this guy's coming in and, oh, this is what I didn't know. This is what I wanted. Like it felt very real. It felt very natural. I'm like, oh yeah. Like I've been on a date with people who've been like, oh, I don't want anything serious, and cut to them 4 months later and they're practically engaged to somebody else. Like it happens. It felt very real. I love the way that they wrote this episode because they weaved his story with Chapel in beautifully, with Spock reminding Chapel of that poem to wake her up from the Trelane nonsense. And I thought it was just beautiful. Like Spock is learning about romance to give up and to say like, I accept this, and dear God, please let this be closure. Like to me, it was perfect. It was a perfect closure episode on the experiment of Spock and Chapel. And I can see like TOS Chapel being like, oh, maybe I made a mistake. That's why she, whatever. I loved it. And I love Dr. Corby. He's handsome. I loved him working with Spock. They had some tension, but then they worked together, and then they were in bed together, which chef's kiss.
I will also say, I think this set up a really good dynamic when you go back and rewatch TOS, where Chapel, I mean, okay, when you take the 60s lens of overacting and over drama off, like it almost is one of those, like, she cares about him so deeply because they have been through this, but she's not necessarily in love with him. It's this like, it's this like lingering what was there still comes out every once in a while, like when he's absolutely in trouble, when she brings him the soup, and when like all of those little things. It almost like they're doing a really good job of painting it in a new light, where it's not just Chapel throwing herself mercilessly at Spock because he has no emotions. It's like, no, they've gone through this, and she was actually the one that said no. And now she's like, you know what? I might have like, yeah.
She had feelings for him, and it's harder for her to work with him for years afterward and completely suppress that. It makes her less 60s pathetic pining after the man that doesn't want her, and more, oh, this never worked out and it's difficult for me, but it's easier for him because he has distance from his emotion. It gives it depth, and it makes her less pathetic, which is why I am not the king of like, let's get all the characters together and have them shack up, and isn't it great that she loves him and he's not returning the, like, fuck all of that. I love the fact that this makes Christine Chapel from the 60s less sad.
And also, they've been working, to your point, they've been working together every day for years. Yes. Like, it's going to be so hard to move on from for a human to move on from anyone when you are seeing them day in, day out. You are both senior leaders on the flagship. You have the pressure. Like, it really does, like, I think, encapsulate it well. I think they're doing a really good job with them.
Mm-hmm.
Who here wants to bang Dr. Corby?
He is absolutely my type.
I don't want to bang him. I just want to dress him up in Muppet outfits.
More flower crowns.
Yeah,
like Snuffleupagus, like Muppet outfits. Or?
Yeah, he seems amenable to it.
He needs to wipe that He needs to wipe that gross ass stubble off his face.
How dare you?
Not working.
I don't understand. I asked
and he needs some volume.
Shave his mustache. Y'all had a whole series of farm animals, but Corby's facial hair is sacrificial.
It all works for me.
I like
at this point in my life, I can't be picky.
And
I do love
a little bit of stubble. I bet
that many
I sit on his face.
Problematic gay alert.
I do love that they didn't ask the actor to change his accent for two reasons. One, don't ask actors to change their accents for no apparent reason. And two, fuck with Star Trek fans who don't understand how actors work.
I loved his accent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes actors have accents, and when you have two actors, sometimes they have different accents. Like, I don't understand why people, like, I really need my fellow Trek fans to calm the fuck down when a character is recast.
Yeah.
Just shush.
He's going to sound different.
Everything's
okay. Here's my thing. After hearing Scotty and Pelia, I don't know what accents are anymore. So was Roger Corby supposed to be Scottish? Was he?
The actor is Irish.
I think he's Irish.
Yeah, he's
Irish. It's Irish. Okay, and that's not a read. I agree with you 100%. I just couldn't figure out what it was.
And in TOS, he had a very different accent because that's how actors work. Okay, carry on.
But as Joanne and several people in the chat have inquired why for the whole episode. Why?
Why what?
Why was Trelane there? Why did he?
Why is
block
any of
his
it
wish?
happening? Why is Trelane? There's like
I put it in the chat. He said he came to his home. Corby came to his home planet, and he was so charming and handsome, it pissed him off. So he just wanted to fuck with him. That's basically what he said. He was like, this fucker came to my planet. He's so handsome and charming, it made me mad. So I wanted to fuck with him. That's basically why he did it.
I'm
Which
not
I
mad
thought
at
was
him.
so cunty. It was so it's like this 3 seconds at the end of the episode where he's like, Spock was like, why'd you do this? And he was just like, this handsome fucker pissed me off.
Just
so
the outfit he put
Okay, but that
is like a level of petty. I
it also
it's what I would expect from a Q.
It
or
also
a
implies
Trelane.
that there is a Q homeworld, and we know where it is. That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we know where they
I
came
don't
from
think
and
that
evolved
necessarily, Trev. I will
Or-
say, I don't think that necessarily means that it's in the last 8,000 years. I think it just means that that was the homeworld at some point or distant, because they're timeless now.
Yeah.
So
Also,
what transcended that?
Trelane
is
said
kind of-
my homeworld. That doesn't mean the Q homeworld. It was just his homeworld.
Well,
My
Or
home
he's
happens to be
he's
Earth.
neither of the two things. Like I don't understand. It's
I think he's at least a Trelane. They paralleled Trelane too much.
No, the character was Trelane. Trelane is a Q. His dad is Q, played by John Delancey. We can say it. It's okay.
Trelane is John Delancey Jr. or whatever his name. Keegan.
Wait, are you suggesting that when they're casting, are you suggesting that actors don't ever play different characters?
Okay, Trev, I'm going to have to push back on this because they would not put John Delancey in this one very specific role if they were not trying to allude to the fact of what we've all been talking about.
You're
for the last
1,000%
couple of
right,
years.
because there's only 2 non-corporeal entities that have ever existed in Star Trek.
I'm just saying. I think that the green orb coming down again.
No. There's only 2 Crossfield class starships. There's only 2 non-corporeal creatures. What? Stop it!
I have a show to produce. People are saying things in the comments.
And
Tell them
also,
to say
people
them
in the
shorter.
comments, I would like to remind you, I would hate to see you think so two-dimensionally. Like, it's just because he had the one
Don't make me
kid
take
after the other doesn't mean that the Q couldn't have had another kid after the first kid, because that's how Q works.
Do we need to rewind to you literally melting down that Q showed up at the end of Picard 3? Because apparently that's how linear time works. Anyway, moving
I
on.
just said that,
Timeline.
From a standpoint, it
We
didn't
don't
work.
have time to talk about,
the
time. Let's talk about Uhura, Beto, and Ortegas.
Oh yeah.
Super cute stuff happening and some dark stuff happening. I know Will touched on this, and it became an interesting topic in Text Trek, in the chat at least. I do feel like we just resolved some Gorn trauma, and now here's some more. It's a bit much, but I will say I do agree that seeing it with Ortegas is going to be a new and interesting. In the war, she wasn't necessarily, as Trevor said, in the trenches. She was a pilot, so like she had this traumatic thing happen with. It'll be interesting to see how that spreads throughout the season. While people are just being cute around her, and she's just being super serious. So it'll be interesting if that seems to be what like people are setting her off. What seems to be her trigger is people experiencing joy around her, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. That was my interpretation of it. Like she felt very uncomfortable in this like joyous celebration. So how they're going to resolve that across the season is really interesting.
I don't know that she felt uncomfortable. I thought she felt alone, like inexplicably alone and isolated.
That's what I was getting to. It was more like because that's why Pike looked over and she was just like looking around for anybody, and everybody else was having fun and dancing. And then I think it was this like she's struggling, she wants to be with people. Her brother is now trying to bang her best friend. Like it felt very like I'm alone on this island, and I'm going to just throw myself into, boxing.
I think if Ortega is going to become the trauma porn for the season, though, it's not necessarily something that I look forward to. I mean, I can see the isolation that stems from PTSD or deep-seated trauma, and I can see that being a legitimate storyline. But I would hate to think that the in 3 seasons, the only storyline they're willing to invest in her is one that is sort of riddled with depression and fear and feeling isolated and alone and all of that. It's particularly when you juxtapose it against this kind of fanciful thematic episode where it's just our curious Q and shenanigans and tomfoolery and yuck. It's very different.
Keep in mind
there's her outlook, and that maybe that was the point. But I would hate for any examination into her character beyond I fly the ship to be that's the best that they could come up with. I wouldn't applaud that necessarily.
There's an alternate universe. There's an alternate universe where they did not put that scene in at the end, and we just had this like fun flouncy episode where they don't address the horrible thing that just happened to her, and then all of us on the salon are complaining that they didn't address the trauma that she just went through.
90s Trek again.
They got to address it.
I think my issue with it is we dealt with this for 2 seasons with La'an, and I thought this episode was nice to see kind of La'an grow up. Like I think she was there was a softness to her. There was something very warm and kind of rounded about her character in this episode, showing Spock how to dance, and we know that she wanted to be a ballerina, and there's like a joke about the Gorn, and like it felt like she had kind of moved on. And then for that kind of specter to get transferred to Ortegas, who we don't know very much about her, but like, and no offense to the actress, I thought that character was done at the end of the last episode. Like her that actor heroism she did piling that thing as she's bleeding out is probably the best way to end that character and show her characters her willingness to do this to save her friends and to get them out of there. Like her being like, I have to fly this even though she's literally bleeding out is a better way to end that character instead of giving the rehash of La'an's trauma, this Gorn trauma we dealt with for 2 seasons, which is fine. I like that they're keeping this actress. I'd be interested to see how this is handled, but it's too close to La'an, in my opinion, for this to be anything for this to be any type of character growth that's unique, unless we see Ortegas deal with this differently. Like I don't know how you would have done this, like with her going, her maybe having some issues with the Gorn stuff, or like feeling some like, having maybe not recovered in 3 months, like being like her boxing is trying to get herself physically back where she was, and her dealing with that is a little different than like her being like, "Ooh, Gorn are going to be around." Where we know that they've kind of resolved this. Like the Gorn
I kind
are
of
not
wish
coming
that they
back.
didn't have the Gorn mirror thing. Like it would have worked better for me if this trauma was caused by the Gorn, but now isn't an ongoing Gorn specter like we had with La'an, because they did also, on top of everything else that Will was saying, they did also say, well, now they're in hibernation. So there's a level of safety that's already supposedly guaranteed that La'an never had. So if they had made it was caused by this horrific thing that happened with the Gorn, but it wasn't the specter of the Gorn coming around. So, but again, we've only seen, not again, but we've seen what we've seen. The way that they execute moving forward is going to be really interesting for me to see, because I agree that that would have been a heroic ending for her. But since they are continuing with her, I'm hoping we get more of her backstory as she's dealing with this trauma, and hopefully with La'an, because her and La'an haven't had too much together. So it would be really cool to be like, not to force some trauma bonding, but it would be cool to have scenes with these two women, not about men, and get more about her backstory as she deals with this and whatever other shenanigans happen throughout the season.
But it also, like, the whole thing feels to me like the episode in Voyager where they had that the virus that jumped through memories, like from one person to another. It feels like, oh, now La'an's free of this and she's lighter and she's enjoying her life, and now Ortega's is like straddled with it, or saddled with it, not straddled with it.
Not straddled with it. I really hope this is the end of her character. I hope this is the way they end it, because I think you're right. We don't want to rehash like a Gorn trauma all over again. So I'm wondering if this might be her exit, because she's like, I can't do this, right? And let her go. Because I don't think, again, I'm sure she's wonderful or whatever, an actress, but I don't think they had any intention of ever developing her beyond I fly the ship. And I think that that's their constant. They're trolling the fandom like, you're not going to get much more, because this is what she flies the ship, and we got to move to the person flying the ship that we all know. So I'm hoping this is like a quick exit. Like, I hope they don't kill her, but I hope she's just like, I can't deal with this, and maybe leaves Starfleet, or just tries to resolve this away from there. But yeah, I hope it's resolved quickly, and that it means the end of Ortega's. No
But
more
they should have
Ortega.
just killed her then. Like, then that would have been the perfect thing, that they make a full, like, they seal the package in a little bow where she was like, I am Ortega's, I fly the ship. And then she bleeds
And
out.
then she should have died. Yes.
Exactly. She should have bled out on the console. I'm sorry.
Right,
And then
but
had her brother come in. They could have done everything the same. Had her brother come in for the funeral and said, I'm here for the funeral for my sister. And then he meets, like, it could have still lined up. Obviously, we haven't seen the new episodes beyond this, so we don't know what they're going to do. But, like, we don't fucking need this. I'm sorry.
But that may have been the original intent.
Yeah, right. That's what I was going to say. I'm going to
told as too negative. Oh, we can't. It's too, So
well, then they should have swung for the fences with it. Like, that would have been a good, like, shocking.
I want to put a button on something that Krista just said, and then turn it over to Trevor to close out this episode, because we're running low on time. Because I think Krista may have hit it on the head, and also maybe like production, like the actress seems wonderful. Maybe it's one of those things where they're like, oh, we didn't have too much planned for this character, but we fucking love working with her, and so pitter patter and keep doing their plan. Maybe, I don't know, that's a presumption, but end of my thoughts. Let me turn it over to Trevor to give his final thoughts on this episode, and then we'll land the ship.
We have 3 series regulars series leads, with Borg trauma, but one person with childhood trauma that was inspired by the Gorn, and one person who was only the second character to actually experience wartime PTSD in 60 years of Star Trek, and that's one too many. It's one thing to not like the character, it's another thing to have really, like, sort of inconsistent expectations with what we will tolerate with regards to trauma. That just feels weird. That, and I'm thrilled that Wham still exists.
That was awful great. I loved hearing that.
Oh, and to the Karen that I had to block on Bluesky because I mentioned liking Wham, fuck off. Wham still exists in the 2200s, and you won't.
Who doesn't like Wham?
Some bitch that was following me and like jumped all over my case for liking the fact that one of their songs was in an episode.
Some bitch.
She's dead to me. I don't care.
Also, was a great fit.
Wait, are you serious? Someone took objection to your liking Wham?
my first Strange New Worlds post in 2 years, because the show hasn't been on for 2 years, and some bitch came out of her fucking cellar to like all caps me about how Wham still exists in the 2260s. Like, I mean, first of all, get a hobby.
So you got
Second
slapped
of all,
with a well, actually.
Second of all,
Right
as
out of
my
the
friend,
gate.
as my friend Krista would say, "Fuck off."
Fuck off! Fuck off!
That's all I got.
You can make it sound like a
Fuck
parrot. Fuck off!
Oh god,
Trevor,
this is
please
me.
land this ship.
I have to pretend like I know what I'm doing. Okay. There were 7 problematic gay alerts, but probably more. There were 3 problematic ally alerts, but probably more. There were 2 explosive saucer separations. Stan fucked up twice. We came on Bob once. It still doesn't come out right. And Krista paraphrased once. I gave 1 million bonus points to Krista for saying no to the dress. I gave Krista an additional 50 bonus points for remembering Body Wars at Epcot. Thank you very much. And I gave her, last but not least, an additional 100 bonus points for I gave 2,200 bonus points to Will for wanting it all on the record.
Mm-hmm.
I gave 74,656 bonus points to Matt for 2 successful jokes tonight. I gave him an additional 100 bonus points for doing it all for the fan. I gave a million bonus points to Joanne for fucking our drag. And I gave 200,000 bonus points to Benji for clocking the future scissoring of Battelle and Chapel, not to mention Will's hole. That happened in the comments. And last but not least, double secret bonus points to Matt Flowers in the comments to sentencing all of us to probation because we're bad boys and girls.
That's fine.
And that is our episode, everybody. Coming in hot at 1:57. Thank you for joining us in this unhinged nonsense. We love it. We'll be back next week, 6:30 p.m. Pacific on Thursday, live here on YouTube for Shuttle to Kenfori, Season 3, Episode 3, Salon, and on all podcast platforms the next day. Please like and subscribe, share this nonsense, comment on our videos. It's the best way to support us, and we appreciate you. Until next week, please do live long and prosper.
All hands abandon ship. Proceed to the nearest evacuation zone immediately.